Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Sunday. Happy Mother's Day for all those mothers out there. But we are going out to do some diving. We're going out to Palos Verdes. I'm going to finally use this. It's been a long time since I used something like this, and especially this guy right here. This guy was under the knife, I guess you could say. The trigger mech had malfunctioned on the previous version, and this is a new trigger mech. So this is the same trigger mech, but this is from a Pathos Open Pro. Just so you guys know, this had to be retrofitted onto here because the walls, or I guess the housing of the trigger mech, is slightly thicker than the one for a sniper. So got to trim it down a little bit, but it fits and it seems to be working fine. But today's the really real world test. But we're going out for white sea bass. That's the target. And of course, we're going to grab some uni this time. I usually try not to grab them too much because, well, one, I do enjoy them. It's just they get a little hassle, too much of a hassle in my opinion. But maybe I'm just being a spoiled diver. But anyway, we're going to grab some uni, try to catch some white sea bass. We're going out to Palos Verdes today. Conditions look to be about 1 to 2 feet in surf, and wind seem to be somewhat moderate, so hoping to land something big. Other than that, just happy to be back in the water. I think my last dive was about 3 months ago, so it's been a long time. Let's go. Boys are back. We are at the spot. The conditions look not as great as it did from up top, but I would say about a foot and a half. It seems like their surge is pretty strong from the south, so you can actually see kind of the waves and water pushing up north pretty aggressively. So where we are, we're somewhat sheltered in the initial stages, but we'll be exposed to that once we get further out. So got to be careful there. But again, just happy to be out here. It's been so long. But without further ado, let's jump in the water. So on this particular dive, I did bring out the float because the goal was to grab some sea urchin. I promised some buddies that I would grab some, and here's me putting on the fins. What I usually do is walk out as far as I can go, time the waves, and in between the sets, I'll put on one fin if it's really bad, kick out beyond the set, and then put on the other one. But you can see visibility was not great. So here I go, loading my spear gun. It is the 85 Pathos Sniper Roller. I just put a new trigger mech in here thanks to Spear America. The old one had a malfunction. I'll make a video on that later. But the goal is white sea bass. It's that time of year. But to be honest, I'm just glad to be out there, test out the new trigger mech, and just get more familiar with the water. It's been a while.
It's calling me. Like the rainbow. Like the rainbow. It's calling me, like the rainbow, the rainbow.
So here we go. It's about halfway through the session now. In this relatively shallow area, there's a lot of fish life. So I'm going down and I'm using this technique where you just pretty much go to the sea floor and you just sit there as still as you can be. Try to minimize your head movement. There's a little lobster there. And since I haven't dove in a while, my breath holds are pretty bad. They weren't that great to begin with, but just really trying to stay calm. That's the focus here. Minimize my head movement as much as possible. And I'm trying to situate myself between this big rock on the left and on the right hand side. You can see some rocks there, but I see a lot of fish movement. There's a big school of sargo, and I'm hoping they turn around, but they're pretty fidgety. Let's see if I can grab one.
So there's the first fish of the season. It felt really good. The technique I used was pretty bad. You could see me push forward a little too much on that shot, but nevertheless, I landed this Opaleye. I know the trigger mech works well. It feels great. And here you see I'm braining the fish, and then after I brain it, I bleed it out. And then once the shaft is out of there, I gut it and put it on my stringer. For those of you that are new at diving, you definitely want to depressurize as you go down, about every 5 feet or so if possible. But as I'm going down, really focus on those squeak noises. That's me depressurizing while I'm going down. So pretty tough to see, but I spook a rockfish as I'm just passing this cave over here, this little overhang. And what I do is I track it and I wait for it to get clear of some rocks before I shoot. So take a look.
Everyone, we just wrapped up our dive. A couple dive buddies. Got a rockfish about 12 inches or so. Got a little opaleye. Just make sure my gun works. Gun works fine. Trigger mech seems to be holding up. Show that right there. It's opaleye shot right there. This guy not shot great right there, but it was flying away or swimming away. So, and we got handful of uni. Uni limit per day is 35 a day. Rockfish must be 10 inches, and then opaleye, you're good to go. But we got that and a nice bag full here. Ready to go. Fresh uni. All right, everyone, we just wrapped up our dive. We grabbed a ton of uni, rock scallop, and I got a rockfish and a opaleye. But conditions were not good. Surf was surprisingly a little rough. Visibility probably 5 feet, maybe 7 in some places. Not great, but it's always a good time on the water. It's great to be back. I'm gonna wrap it up with a little bit of in and out. Let's go. But thank you for watching. We're just so glad to be back in the water. All right, we have our sea urchin tool. Straight from Japan, from my dive buddy K. We're gonna try this out. So you pierce the beak and you squeeze to spread the sea urchin. Just like that. Pop it open. We got our uni inside.